Hey, what's going on, everybody? We back at it again. My name is Blaine Bent. Welcome to the Bat Cave, Heavy Metals of Honor. I'm an artist. I put out music. Check me out on all socials, all streams. My man's earlier today, he set this YouTube short about, I guess, a movie called Imperium. I've never seen it, but I think it got Daniel Radcliffe in it, which is the Harry Potter guy. And I think in this role, like, he's playing as a Nazi. So let's just check out the short.
No, I don't think so.
Harry Potter's like a neo.
No, but I've definitely seen.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Wait, Daniel Radcliffe plays a neo.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've definitely seen the clips of it.
That's kind of nice.
it's very insane.
He hit some wild ones. He's like on a march. Yeah, I've seen it.
Damn.
He would not like you.
Man, crazy.
Yeah.
White freedom! White freedom! You're on the wrong side of that barricade.
Damn.
White rights! White rights!
That's his
Wake
black
up,
friend
white
right there,
people!
trying to yell his
Wake
name.
up! White power!
Nate, what are you doing, man? Shut the f*** up!
Come join your race!
Some works in my building.
Come join the white race! White race!
Do you think an actor that serious though, when he's playing that role, goes full method?
He did go full method. I don't know.
He really?
You got to go 100%. If you're going to do that,
Do it,
you
yeah,
got to
you
rip the
can't just
Band-Aid
go.
off.
Yeah.
Just say it.
You ever see?
So that's crazy, right? So, I think this topic is interesting, right? Because for Daniel Radcliffe, I never seen the movie, and it kind of looked like he was unsure of being in the march. I'm not sure what the movie details him to be in, like a group or like a Aryan Brotherhood or some shit. But I think I talk a lot about showing duality in my music, right? The yin, the yang, right? And I can't really. There's a lot of actors that get heat coming their way because, for one moment we know Daniel to be the Harry Potter guy, right? He was a kid. He kind of grew up with that brand, the Harry Potter brand. We watched him age. I think he played in another movie where he was Hellboy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it's like, okay, we get it. Like, these guys, when we see them as kids, when they get older, they'll probably hop into different movies, different roles, and I look at it as it's the artistry. You know what I'm saying? You showing the range and the contrast in your portfolio, right? However, I do believe that, like the guy said, if you're gonna do a role like that, you gotta go all in. But it's also strange what entertainment does to the fragile minds that aren't as fortified to understand that, that's an actor doing a role, getting paid for the role. It's we don't know the real reasons why. I think that's my girl coming in. We don't know the real reasons why he wanted to accept a role like that, and I gotta watch the movie to just kind of see what was going on, but it's strange because I forgot that one movie. What is it? Passion of the Christ, where the one dude that played Jesus. From what I've heard from Mel Gibson, he was saying shit like that the dude that played in his movie, he never got another Hollywood role again because everybody just saw him as Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, do you pigeonhole yourself, or do you know what I mean? Like, do you play the role so well that they can't erase it out of their head for you to be something else? You know, for you to switch up to something else? And, you know, the role swap, right? Like, you know, I know a lot of actors, man, when they start to becoming characters all the way, and they really studying the script, they really doing improv, channeling in that character. It's like, you know, it's a state of mind, it's a state of being, right? So when you're in that state of mind, I feel like not even so much feel, it's real to attract certain situations your way almost the same as the character you're trying to portray so well, because you're also thinking about it from the aspect that it is a movie where that person in the movie, that's that person's life and what's going on, right? So when you're like channeling someone's life and, you know, the characteristics, the mannerisms, and it's like, even for the Joker, you know, Heath Ledger, like one of the legendary cold Jokers, but it's like, you know, we don't have him anymore. And it's just strange how when you invite certain personalities or characteristics into your well-being and you attract certain situations. Because, I mean, let's face it, like the comment section was saying something like, "You're a grand wizard, Harry." And that shit is crazy. Like, that shit is crazy. I don't know when this movie came out, but like, that is a goated comment just for how funny that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I'm the type of guy to like, I like dark comedy and I have a, you know, cynical sense of humor at times. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I could spot the joke and laugh, but for others that, you know, don't find it too funny, like, look, the Chamber of Gas, like, I see mad comment sections. Like, it gets worse. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you open up that realm of who people knew you to be, and seeing you professionally become something else within the profession, right? Because you're an actor, so you're just playing another role in a movie. You know, playing as a different role from where you were. It's not like you're doing like family-oriented movies and, you know, you got like a history of like, okay, like this is a lane. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in the magical fantasy, you know, fairy tale or reality versus virtual lane. You know, like this is Buddy went from Potter, you know what I'm saying, to like a whole Aryan Nazi type, you know, type of dude. That's what we got. So it's kind of crazy because
I think he wanted to break off with his Harry Potter image so bad that he went the complete opposite direction.
my girl, if y'all can't hear her, she was saying that she thinks that he wanted to break away from the role to like do other things and whatnot, you know, and artists should do that. We should have the right to do that and explore. It's just, you know, there's extremes, you know, and people gotta wrestle with their mind that, okay, like for me, like I'm the type of guy, like I'll always play Home Alone, like all of them around Christmas. We might watch the Harry Potter. It's something about watching certain movies that fit well with the mood of the month or the season. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a dialed in artist that knows how to cultivate different, you know, styles or whatever, but you created like a world building event where it's like people can see you as a multi-dimensional character, you know, it's like people will have no choice but to be like, yo, this guy has a hell of a range. Like he's not scared to tackle all of these roles. But what happens mentally for that person channeling all of those characteristics. You know, when you're reading with the scripts and with other people and you're living with your work, you immerse yourself in your work. You know, as artists, by default, it feels like we have to be delusional to think that any of this could work, right? I already made a video on this where people were talking about, you know, like if you gotta use your if you 35 and up, just quit rapping and podcasting and, you know, and thinking you're gonna blow up when you're not, and you know how much money it's gonna take to do it by yourself, and you know you probably using your girl's you know, money to buy studio time. Like, just give it up, like it's okay to have a regular job and be nothing in life. like you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the guy's defeated mindset in a car. He understands that, you know, he's in a car making a video which turns into content when he couldn't wait to be like, oh, this is gonna get everybody in their feelings. He understood that and made that video and then put it out, and shit, what do you know? We talking about it today and we don't even know him, right? So it's like, even that was a strategy in itself, you know, because something in you felt the need to, instead of telling the artist that might be in your town or locally, or do you DM them or whatever it is, you felt the need to become a creator, which is art in itself. To be like, you know what? Like, stop doing what you think is going to make you money or what you think might give you a percentage in being something in life, and just do regular shit while I post a video on YouTube and all my social media, getting viral and getting some motion and maybe even getting paid from the monetized video. I'm not sure how he set it up, like, you know, for his personal gain or whatever. But people see your face, you're viral now, you know, and it's like you're just trying to hit people where they might actually be talented, you know, where they might actually have something. It's just the right person might have not, you know, reached out to it yet, or encountered it or heard of it, or, you know what I'm saying? You never know who's watching and who's listening, and that shouldn't stop you from creating it, feeling great about what you created, and then sharing it with everybody else the same way how it didn't stop him, you know, from making a video in his car about what people 30 on up should do with their life. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do understand the realism of getting a job. You know, I said this in another episode, seeing Bag Fuel talk about, you know, if you're not you're not a professional rapper, if, you know, you're basically not living off your profession, right? Which, I mean, it's like, what do you say to the people that signed, you know, and is broke and never got they check, you know, and then at some point they had to get a job till they got their industry check or their royalty check or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to those people? Like, last time I checked, bills is every month, and no matter where you're getting that money, you got to do what you got to do to take care of certain wants and needs. You know, you don't need Wi-Fi, right? But if you're an online creator, if you're creating and you share with the world, you might, not even might, you will invest in having Wi-Fi. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I'm saying is, like, people can pop that shit no matter how many years they've been in the game. They can pop that shit and you think like it's solid advice, but it's coming from niggas that have no talent anyway. And niggas is gonna say, yo, it's not about your talent though. See, you don't get it. You thinking from a talent art perspective, and it's the music business. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, and it's like, but it's comedy because, like, we're all creating content now in the digital media space, you know, in video form, where even if it wasn't a song, like the dude that was talking about the 35 and up, it was like, you know, you guys are not articulate when you talk. And it's like, how many brothers have you watched to know that? And so what if that man got in the articulation gym a little later than others? Let that man lift his weights. Let that man practice. Let that man evolve from there. Why is it a fucking issue for niggas to criticize other niggas about where the fuck they at with their money? So what if that dude had to borrow a couple of dollars from his girl? That's his girl. She an investment in his life and vice versa. That's his woman. Like, if it, like, it's almost like y'all be telling on yourselves. Y'all don't understand. Like, it comes off like as if you can't, like, you feel ashamed that you gotta borrow money. There's no shame. There's no shame. That's a part of the story. Why would I let that interfere with making a classic today? And see, I could talk my shit because I got the proof. You know what I'm saying? I got the proof. Like, that's what y'all don't understand, is that it's real niggas like me out here. You know what I'm saying? And we look at you foo-foo style ass niggas and we laugh, you know, because it's like the reality is you can't stop what's going on anyway. The same way how we couldn't stop you from making a video and the numbers going up. The algorithm or whatever just had to be in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, respectfully, we gonna take the shit they be saying with a grain of salt. And even though this jumped from the Daniel Radcliffe situation, right? Being an artist, being a rapper, singer, podcaster, actor, filmmaker, producer, it's like, I get it, you know, jack of all trades, they say master of none. But what happened if you master something? Like, what happened if I master a craft? Like, if, you know what I mean? And now that I got that on my tool belt, why is it a problem for me to get out of that role that people are known for me playing, which is the artist role? What's the problem with me now talking my shit in an elaborate way in my home settings or my studio and just talking to my phone like everybody else? You know, what's the problem? Why couldn't I do that and not put out music and just focus on that and focus on film editing or just clips? And I'm not saying to never pay someone for their profession and their skill. If you know somebody that can edit your artwork, engineer your music, you know, edit your videos, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got legit people that live in that world, you can pay for that time, or you can figure out a way to, you know, maintain a relationship with that person so that way you can at least be in the position of creating something. But having the fear of what the fuck another man gotta say about when you supposed to create something, or just give it up, just go to work and never go in your car one day and make a video about what's bothering you, because that's artistic now. You know what I'm saying? That's that's like me going at the guy like, oh, so you trying to get famous because you made a video and then you push publish on YouTube and on your socials. You was trying to get some motion. You was trying to get your dopamine up. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything is media. Why you hating on the fact that I'm styling on you with a certain side of media, right? You boys can't fuck with me in this music. We know that shit already. Go check the catalog. Don't talk to me. You know you can't fuck with me on certain things. The same way how I know that in life, there's going to be somebody else that's stronger than me, faster than me, got more connects, or, you know what I'm saying? Like the stats. You feel me? Not everything is maxed out 99. But you can't shame the nigga going to the gym faithfully, working on his business, working on his money, working on his mindset. You know, these are all levels of a gym. Self-work is a gym. You understand? It's, you know, and I like y'all on one hand, you know, y'all act like y'all helping people. But on the other dark hand, not on no racist shit or whatever. I'm just saying, like, the manipulative side, you know what I mean? Like, the left side, right side, it's like the yin, the yang. On that hand, it's like, you feel me? It's like you wanna somehow snuff the dreams out of people that, you know what I mean? It's just trying something, you know, for God's sake. You know, just trying shit out and failing forward. You know what I'm saying? And that person was brave enough to put it out and share the failure with the rest of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got people that, you know, I know for a fact they're not gonna like everything I do, but so the fuck what? Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's like 8 billion people on the planet, and I'm supposed to worry about what my neighbor got to say about my car outside, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? You know, what are we talking about? But I get it. The same way how I'm talking my shit, reacting, you know, to all the rappers that, you know, is making music and feel like they don't know what to do to make it pop, because now in the world you need other things around it, you know, to make people care. You know, just keep cultivating your talents, keep peeping what you interested in, and figure out how much time you willing to spend in learning it or mastering it, or, you know what I mean, incorporating it in your daily life. Because, you know, Daniel Radcliffe is like, we forever gonna know him for Harry Potter and beating Lord Voldemort, and you know what I'm saying? We forever gonna know him for that. Just in the same thing with, you know, the Home Alone kid, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, everybody's gonna grow up and age, you know, like everybody's gonna age into who they are, and it's just, we should just allow grace for people to find that out and figure it out. Trying to like, you know, just shit on people because they got ideas and you want them to do, you know, what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Which is, yo, give up, but while simultaneously, you know, putting out a video. It's contradictory. You feel me? And to go back to the, so what if you got money, you know, from your lady or your mom or whoever, like, you know, there's mad stories of famous people that, you know, was having regular jobs. Big Sean is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Big Sean had a regular telemarketer job or some shit like that, and was in a, you know, a little caddy or whatever. You know what I mean? This man hit him up, be like, "Yo, Ye is at the radio station. Like, you should rap for him. You should, you know, the CDs. You've always been at the radio station. You was always doing the ciphers, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, I'm just saying, like, yo, like, we in Detroit, like, there's nothing else. Like, you know, he's there right now on a promo run for his album. Like, you should rap for him. Like, you need to have friends like that in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that just, it motivates you. It's pointing like, yo, I know my friend is always rapping. If I see an opportunity, or if I hear about an opportunity, like, I'm gonna let that man know ASAP, or I'm gonna share it. But y'all don't ever want to get to that, you know, because you guys feel like y'all can't share the light. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, if he make it and he blow up, he gonna forget about me. It's like, yo, it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you know that that's your man's and you've been riding with him, and there's an opportunity that, you know, obviously you might see a benefit just because you rolling with him, but it's like, why not pass it to the dude that's strong at what he does to see where it goes? You know what I'm saying? If he was just like, nah, man, I'm scared, or nah, man, that's not real, or he ain't gonna listen to it, or it's like, nah, man, take that tape out the glove, get out. I think he was trying to cash his check. His mans called him, and it was like, you know what? Let me get out of line, get in the whip. You know, whatever the gas was at, fuck it, we just gonna head to the station. He told them like, yo, I think I left my phone in there. Let me just go check, just to go see Ye. And then before you know it, he was rapping. And then, you know, even though it took a while to really be in the Good Music label at that time or whatever, they kept contact, and, you know, the rest was, you know, was there. It was history from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. Like, it's so many deprecating, like, self-doubters out there, and it's like, you wonder why, like, niggas like me that be so in tune with the process of creativity that we just tap out, because it's like, you know, you could say, oh, you got to know the music business, but you know, now, right, Mr. You got to know the music business, right? Now, The chick that, sung a little 15 seconds to make Dr. Pepper popping in a commercial. She's like, she just had an idea. It's like, I think Dr. Pepper would really love, what I had to say about, this little jingle for a commercial or something like that, right? And she blew up. They took care of her. She had an idea. She was probably in her room with her phone. It didn't have the best lighting or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they used that vocal. She probably get paid from that. I don't know the specifics, but it was an idea. It was a brand genius moment to lock on to something that somebody thought of about their product. And now everybody is trying to capitalize off it. Now I'm seeing videos of people's kids captured behind their parents, looking at their phone, trying to really sing for the next Ford commercial or the next whatever commercial. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's funny because, I don't think every brand that you're gonna do that for is gonna be like, let's just sign all of these people that's trying to do it now because they see that we give out opportunities, like that on the internet. But the thing is that it's gotta feel authentic too. It's gotta feel genuine too. That's why certain people get blessed. You know what I'm saying? It was genuine on her side. Nobody thought to do what she did. She did it. You know what I mean? It wasn't professional this. It wasn't the music business that. What you gonna say to everybody that got a smartphone that could just pick it up, talk to it in their car, talk to it in their room, talk to it in their studio, and just shoot the shit with an audience that gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real, man. It just, you boys, I need to hear more positivity, man. I need to hear more positivity. Y'all are some grown men too. Y'all some grown men talking like this. Y'all trying to be the authoritative, like, figurehead for other grown men. It's like, nah, like, we don't believe you, nigga. Like, sure, you was on the block. You was in the industry and, you know what I'm saying? You got motion and people know you. All right, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? I can't take nothing from you or anything like that. But don't try to stop people from trying so that way, it eliminates them too. I know the play. A lot of this shit is social pressure, and that's where y'all fail. With me, at least. You know what I'm saying? We not subscribing to it. And maybe I talk like this. Maybe I talk brash like this because I got real work in the gym. I got real stats in the gym. So maybe that's why I talk like this. Maybe that's why people need me to talk if they don't want to talk. You understand? So it's like, respectfully move along, shit. I'm seeing a lot of shit about Act, allegedly getting slapped by one of 4PF or Lil Baby's affiliate or, whoever they be rolling with. Act, from what I'm hearing on his stream, he was saying shit like, he already chopped it up with Baby, but he feel like, he was backdoored and situation happened like a year ago, and he swears that nobody slapped him, right? Look, I don't know. But what I will say is, you gotta watch what you put out there. And this is all connected because, like I said, Daniel Radcliffe went from Harry Potter to, you know what I'm saying, an Aryan brother, Nazi type dude. Again, I haven't seen the movie all the way to really know where he was going with that. But people now in the world can treat him like that character that he played so well. He sold it to you. You believed it. You can't erase it out your mind. Like he's a villain now. And with Ack, it's like he pop a lot of shit. He pop a lot of shit. You feel me? And, you know, I'm seeing a lot of content creators. They'll say one thing like, yo, you know, I'm not gonna feed into the drama. I'm not gonna go to that panel. I'm not gonna do this, do that. You know, I got integrity. You know, I privated my videos, and it's like next day you see them on a panel. Next day you see them entertaining the same topic. And it's like when you're a fan of somebody, it takes away the service of what you go to them for about other shit, right? And my only thing with it is that if you a grown man saying something, then follow what the fuck you saying. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't really shots because it ain't just one person. This is a multitude of mad people that I see do this shit. You know what I'm saying? If I create something in music today and tomorrow I want to decide to shoot scenes for a short film, whether it goes to the song or not, or, you know, if I feel like it's too funny style with certain people that I call friends to where it's always static on the interest of ideas, I'm going to find my way to disconnect and maintain doing what I feel is true to me. You know what I'm saying? Moments is going to happen to where we know things become stimulus packages because once you put it in a headline, it's bound to get views, clicks, all of that, right? But, you know, you got to know that no matter what you do, there's going to always be scrutiny for it. There's going to always be somebody, you know, having an opinion. And even me right now, this is my opinion. The people that I'm talking about in a collection, because I've seen this happen so often, you know, they have every right to feel like I'm talking to them because I am. Fix it or not. It's your life. I can't tell you what to do the same way how you can't pressure people into doing what you want them to do for you or what you think is a standard for them because it's a standard for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just alarming to me because, you know, at this point in the game, when you figuring out your own lane, like, look, me right now, YouTube isn't really new to me, but being more active and consistent on YouTube is. You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube back then for me was just the afterthought. It was like, yo, you know, whatever I'm posting over there, I'm gonna just post over there, but I'm gonna barely be over here because I'm more over there, right? And then when, you know, social medias get hacked and, you know, you don't bother to make another one and, you know, you lose fans, you lose a whole network of people, and you got to figure out how to not let that shatter your perspective or belief in what you're doing, you know, because you lost a certain lane of communication. It's like, to keep it a stack, I like the fact that the people that probably followed me on social media, if they really rock with me, they'll know where to find me on anything. And that's on everything. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that was on social media hate watching, pocket watching, you know, trying to listen to everything I say and for negative, even though you know my intentions meant it to be positive and informative and helpful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad I don't post a lot like that. I'm glad that when my Facebook got taken out, I wish I could have just deactivated, because then I could have had more control on when I want to pop up again, right? But even then, back when I had the book, I was periodically deactivating the shit just because I like going rogue. I like going incognito. My thoughts became more federal. I don't trust you niggas. And act being backdoored in the back of an act. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just goes to show you that, like, you know, with someone like him always talking shit, making money, Cuban chains on, you know, he upgraded his space. Salute to that. You know, it's like you built up a certain reputation for what you do that it don't matter if you talk shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter if you talk shit. Whatever it is that you do, that you build your own credibility and earn respect from, to where people have no choice but to acknowledge it in mass, and then it creates a motion and a momentum, and, you know, he got the chat niggas as the brand. You know, when you start saying anything because it's whatever to you, people are gonna feel like, yo, you know, he was talking all that shit in his blog earlier, on stream earlier. Like, you know what? I can't wait to go catch him and see him. Like, you know, maybe catch the fade. Maybe really shoot one with him. Maybe, you know, set up a hidden camera and pop off on him. And I'll always have the proof that I did that to this known, well-known, famous guy for always talking shit. You want to be the guy that's known for popping him where he talks the most shit. Right? And people that think like that feel like the transference of wealth, power, respect goes into some unknown person that doesn't have probably their own shit going on. It was just them doing it out of sheer impulse. It was just them doing it probably to get street cred with their affiliates, that is probably the more famous one, and all of that. And so I already know that when I decided to be more visual on this side of the lane of YouTube, where we have, whether it's reaction video, whether it's streaming, whether it's a desktop episode, you know, whatever it is, like, I've already decided, even from rap, right? When I'm talking my shit in rap, you feel me? I already knew motherfuckers was gonna hate. I already knew. See, back then, rap was the new cool. Now, since, you know, streaming is in play and all of that, and the streamers got popular, and let's be honest, how did they get popular? They were making probably more money than the rappers. They were able to land opportunities and brand deals and be in award shows, going streaming live like they Kai Cenat. You know? People saw, oh, so you could be an unknown, you know, person, whether you lame, quirky, or, you know, you just a regular guy, and you can be consistent on just talking to your fans, whether you on Twitch, whether you on YouTube, wherever you got a pocket of fans, you serve that market, you serve that block, right? And before you know it, all of the videos you did, everything that, you know, was, you know, it had moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had standout moments where people will clip farm it, and, you know, all of a sudden now they're making money because they just got to clip you up because you're so consistent that, you know, it like feeds itself. It's like its own ecosystem. And it's like, imagine if somebody was in a car and told people like Kai Cenat or I Show Speed or Black Boy Max, you know, Aiden Ross, academics, you know, imagine if somebody was in the car to be like, yo, like, I see a lot of these kids trying to, like, always put up videos of them in their room with opinions or playing music. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, you'll never go anywhere because nobody ever seen a streamer university before until Kai Cenat did it. until he did Mafia-thon. Like, nobody ever knew what the heights of streaming can do and where it can go. But you got people that feel like they've already seen enough of one thing, right? With rap, it's like, yo, it's like joining the NBA or whatever. It's like you'll never make it. But it's like people are so focused on telling you what you can and can't do that it's like ultimately you just got to do that shit, you know, and find out for yourself whether you win or you fail. You know, like, you got to find that out for yourself. Like, that's not up to anybody else. This is your life. You know, that's like the old shit where parents want you to go to college, make sure you bring home good grades and don't have the teacher call my phone. And then when you get out of high school, hey, I want you in college, become a doctor, be a lawyer. It's like you trying to, that's not even motivation for real. You just telling me what I have to do. I don't have to do shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to do shit. And then they'll say that they'll take this clip right here and then be like, see, don't be like him saying that you don't have to do shit. That's being lazy. Bitch, go look at the resume. Then we can figure out who's really lazy. See, it's different when somebody got it. I got the it factor. I am the X factor. It's different. You're not going to move shit on this side. You know what I'm saying? You could do that to the less established, the less unknown, and you know, you could do that to someone that's on their beginning. But what I'm saying is that you can't do that to them, right? Because in their beginning, imagine if any one of them listened to that dweeb in the car saying what you can and can't do. We probably wouldn't get a Kasana. We probably wouldn't get an academics. We probably wouldn't get the people that became something. You know what I'm saying? That actually had a positive influence. Act on the other hand, could be debatable for that, you know, because of the level of shit talking and getting in messy business with people's beef, whether it's, you know, who's fucking who and who sold what or who flopped or, you know, like all of that. Like, that's its own lane where he has to deal with what comes with that. But for brothers like, you know, the people that I mentioned that be on their own shit or trying to pivot and trying to change, and salute to Kai for trying to pivot and change and just switch the guard. It's healthy, man. You don't have to always go, you know, on 0 to 100 on E. You know what I'm saying? But you just burning out. Like you can step back, look at the work you've made, smell your roses type shit. Cause you already planted and watered your own garden. You feel me? Be proud of your garden. Be the warrior in the garden. Be the man in the garden. Right? Step back and go, like, this is my serene peace. This is my happy place where I think, where I'm, you know, I'm pure. I feel light. You know, this is an energy source that I created that I could always charge up from. You know, now let me step back and, you know, polish another tool in my arsenal, or, you know what I mean? Like, learn another skill, learn another trade. I'm not ever against, by the way, 9-to-5ers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is to y'all. Like, I'm not against that. I think even if I hit the lotto, right, I probably, depending on the level of money I could have access to, you know, at that point, if, let's say I hit the lotto, my work would definitely be what I want to do for myself that I enjoy. Because me already going to 9-to-5s where I'm at, it saps away energy that I could use to put in my creative. And so you're back on this loop until you figure out, you know what I'm saying, how you could flip your money and you know what I mean, have money just constantly flowing in. And that's why even me pulling up to YouTube and trying to connect and carve my audience, this is from scratch. You guys are witnessing it from scratch. I don't care how many videos I gotta drop. I'm in. I was already in. This media shit was already ours. It was already ours, bro. Like, I already put in the hours. It's like, why not at this point? If my goal was to have like 500 songs on all streams and I probably only got to half of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely pour into making videos about life, relationships, and just kind of watch what I'm into and then give my honest opinion. You know, I can't really see myself talking too much about, you know, what somebody always got going on. I feel like even me watching people do that, I'm already sizing myself up on some, like, you know, if the topic pertain to you, or if you feel like you could drop a gem on that topic, whether it's positive or negative, like, you know, see what you could do from a creative aspect. You know, my last video was about fuck the streets and all of that. I gave you my perspective. I didn't have to shit on them on 21 or Fabio for no likes or anything like that, or to be viral and sensational and some magical tough guy. Nah, I think the street shit is whack, period. And just because something like this art form comes from it doesn't mean it has to stay there and be embedded in the salacious rulings that, you know, people allegedly so-called follow. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of, you know, rats running around, you know, telling on they mans that they swear they was 100% pots and pans down with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not surprised, because I seen all of these habits just in grade school alone, just being on the block alone. I've already seen it. So what you seeing now is when people got a microphone, it's just amplified. It's going to connect to people. People that got money now, they just became a bigger douchebag with the access of money now. Like, you're just seeing what people were already at, you know, at its earlier stage, if you just reverse engineer what's going on right now. You know, niggas feel more comfortable talking behind a phone instead of actually being in person and locking in eye to eye on some, like, yo, like, I don't really have no physical problems with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna make me, you know, try to attack you. I'm a civilized human being, bro. But that don't mean I won't up something on you if I feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that, like, you know, I'm supposed to just not protect myself because you seem to be whoever the fuck you think you are. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, ain't nobody beating the feds. That's last time I checked. Fuck is you talking about? Ain't nobody beating the feds. You know what I'm saying? I pay taxes in the United States of America. What the fuck is you on? You know what I'm saying? So I never claimed to be no street nigga. I just claim to be a person that stands up for self, because I have self-respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'll issue that courtesy to others whenever I cover some things. If it's gonna be something that I feel like I'm gonna get real disrespectful, then I'm gonna just feel like personally I don't want to put that out there. Because, well, like I said before, people fall in love with the character they portray when they put that energy or that shit out there. And then based off what's out there, people gonna come to you on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really control it. That's what I noticed. You can't really control it. Because even me talking right now, being confident talking right now, it's gonna be a lame somewhere that is like, nah, he feel too confident about himself. We gotta knock him down a couple pegs. He gotta be humble. So there's really no avoiding it. And that's why, you know, that's why the show must go on, and we still gonna do what we do regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know how long this video is, really, to be honest. You know I said a lot, you know, but I hope it connected the dots for some of you guys out there. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. There are people that hate watch you with the evil eye, and you know there are people out there that are shiesty, that'll backdoor you because, you know, they're afraid of your success or they want your spot, and so they got to figure out ways to access certain people to get access to you. And you know, this shit is chess, not checkers. You understand? This shit is chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch how you moving out here, how you treat people out here. You know what I mean? You know, it's snowing crazy in New York right now. It's probably in other areas of the world it's crazy right now too. But, you know, be careful driving around out there. You know what I'm saying? Like here's one of the other metaphors too. Or probably not so much of a metaphor, but like in a way, right? So, you know, I bought like these crazy, like high performance level headlights for my car, right? And you know, the regular default settings without me flipping the switch, right? To like go to, you know, a higher beam or a high beam, low beam, whatever, right? Instead of not even doing that, on the default settings, I got a lot of people on the road, whether it's daytime or nighttime, it don't matter what time. I got people always flicking their fucking lights at me, right? And the thing is, I'm already on a default setting. I can't change anything. If anything, me switching it is me going up. It's more light. It's more blinding. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it don't matter anyway, because now I switch it. You know, I think there's a rule to it too, where you don't really have to have the lights on till a certain time. It could be like 8 or whatever. But obviously, if it gets darker in certain areas and you got like deers running around, or, you know, people ain't wearing no reflective gear when they walking on the side of the road, you know, turn the lights on. Absolutely. And I also got a roof rack for my car, to where I got a taco switch in the car, customized type shit, by the way, to where I could just beam them lights and that shit look like I got a halo driving on the road. It almost looked like the cop lights when they pull you over and they flash the white light to really like view your vehicle type shit. Anywho, what I'm saying is that, you know, people want to dim your shine, even if your shine is already at a default setting, you know, to stun on them. And they feel that. They feel away. They're like, damn, like, it's just that type of car. Like, it's just a Subaru. It's just a Honda. Why he got bright ass lights? But it's like, stop being a hoe and just get some new lights. Stop complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what I need and why I need it. You know what I'm saying? Like my lights is my lights. That's my light. That's my power. You know, and sometimes I get arrogant on the road too, when it's like everybody in the road trying to tell me something in traffic. You know what the fuck I do? I flip that switch and blind all of their asses. Straight up. I flip that switch, put the high beam on, I gas it. I got like, what? Oh, you was talking shit? Blick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you was talking shit? Flick. Like, leave that shit on for the whole block. You know what I'm saying? For the whole stretch. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's a new wave of cars coming that I feel ain't on that type of time, I'll dial it back. You know, because I ain't trying to have people swerve off the road and fuck they shit up. But I'm going to leave it on my default fucking setting like I said I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that shit alone. Or I might leave it on the first tick. But either or, it's not too much of a difference. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like they mad you Super Saiyan, and then, you know, when you switch it, it's Super Saiyan 2, and then when you flip it, it's Super Saiyan 3, and when you go high beam, it's like God mode, God blue. You know what I'm saying? It's they gonna hate because they don't have it, bro. That's what it is. It's the insecurity of light and being, you know, insufficient holding it. They don't have it. I'm telling you right now, if you have it, you guard it. You protect it out here. Fuck what they gotta say. Shine on them. I just dropped that joint on my birthday last year. You know, Dear Butterfly, Shine on Me. Make sure you go check that out on all streams. But this is a real thing. This is a real issue. Depending on how people see you in a certain lane of light, determine what your reality is and how people will come at you. So, you know, keep that gem in mind. Let me eat this ramen. Let me show y'all right now. I got the bulgogi. You feel me? I got the bulgogi with the corn. Got 3 eggs in here and some ramen. You feel me? About to roll up another one. Shoot another video. I got work tomorrow. You know, but I'm going to keep cooking. All right? I'm going to keep cooking, man. That's the word. Peace.